Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely.
Good evening to you all. I'm Anna Sabo and welcome to Meraki TV, brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond, education for investing wisely. Tonight I have something for everybody, beginning with Stavroula, honouring comedic great Stathis Psaltis. Helen makes yiayya's special pastitsio in under 30 minutes. Maria talks to award-winning documentary maker Nicolaos Demourtzidis. Blue Stage Theatre bring the funny, and Themi brings the science in the Kids' Corner. But to start it all off tonight, Billy Kotsis talks to soccer legend Peter Katholos, absolute pioneer in the legend of the big game.
Peter, welcome.
How are you guys?
For those who aren't aware, some of the younger viewers, so your career started around 1979 and the NSL was completely different to the A-League. What were the differences?
Back in the day, you know, the parks, the facilities, you know, we played on grounds that they had cricket pitches run. It wasn't professional, you know, we were the wogs. It was a wog game, and but now it's been accepted, which is fantastic. Yeah.
Now, can I just confirm, you won 4 championships and 3 cups. You played 550 games and you scored 97 goals. They are just incredible statistics. What was it like winning your first championship?
Well, mate, you know, like as a footballer, that's what you want to do. You want to be playing in winning teams, and that's exactly what I did.
Tell me about the Socceroos. Now, you played 22 times for Australia. Tell us about that experience.
Look, my first call-up was the 1981, World Cup qualifying stage where we had to play against New Zealand. So look, as a 21-year-old at the time, it was like, what a buzz. I mean, this is what you want to do in your career. You know, you want to play for the national team. Not many people, you know, get the opportunity to do that. So it was, what a feeling. You know, it was a buzz.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but England was a very good team back then?
Oh, absolutely. 1983, Sydney Cricket Ground, man of the match that day, Peter Kat. Incredible.
Because you were also the NSL Player of the Year before, is that correct?
That's correct. 1982, I was
Wow.
Australian Player of the Year.
That's incredible. That's awesome. And take me through to you played overseas a bit as well too. So you ended up playing for Larissa in I think before the Greek Super League, but the first division, the top division. What was it like playing for Larissa?
Let me tell you, before I went to Larissa, but I spent time on Olympiacos, which I was offered a contract, which I didn't take.
Wow.
I was offered a contract at Panathinaikos.
Wow.
Which I didn't take because I wanted to play in Australia. I wanted to play for the national team, and then in 1985 I decided to go to Greece. And look, Greek football was an incredible experience for me, but unfortunately, Greek football is is very, very cliquey.
Tommy Doherty, the former Manchester United manager, once said, "You're the best young talent he's ever come across." Johnny Warren said you're the best midfielder in Australia. How does that make you feel when you hear these legends of the game, these one-time amazing players, telling you that you are one of the best?
Look, I'm humble. You know, I worked hard to do and achieve these things. I mean, I spend thousands of hours, you know, on a ward down here at Belmore practicing. You know, it's amazing. All my mates used to go out, and I was there, at night time hitting against the wall.
How did you get into football? What inspired you to play the game?
Back in the day in Greece, we played in the streets. You know, it was street soccer. My mum, you know, at the time we were poor, you know, and you know, she used to be a machinist and she used to make soccer balls out of rags. You know, you heard the story with all these other people. Well, let me tell you, that is my story. You know, one day I said, "Oh, look, I want a ball," you know, and we were walking down to Athens, and a guy goes to a shop owner and goes to her, "Look, the most successful people are soccer players and singers in Greece. I said, buy the kid a soccer ball. She bought me a plastic soccer ball, I remember.
So tell us what you might have come across to be the highlight of your career, but also a low light.
Look, the highlight of my career would obviously playing for Australia, and that memorable game in 1983 at Sydney Cricket Ground where I played against England and I was man of the match. That was the pinnacle for me at such an early age. And the worst moment in my career was actually not, Olympic telling me to leave the club.
Peter, Canterbury Council is recognised as one of their favourite sons. You also ran the Olympic torch relay in 2004. And there's been a lot of other highlights as well. Can you take us through a couple of those?
Well, Canterbury Council, I've lived in this area for 46 years, so they've recognised my feats on the soccer field. Also done the torch in 2004 for the Olympic Games down at William Street. So that was a great moment. Centenary medal from the Queen. That was these are great honours as a footballer, and also I'm in the Hall of Fame for in the Greek Hall of Fame for a sportsman. All these things are great. I'm honoured, but like I said, I'm still my feet are still planted on the ground. I'm a human being like anything. I just love football, and if I've made people happy through the years and given them joy, for me it was a pleasure.
Έχω ένα παπαγάλο, είναι το στόμα του μεγάλο, που αρέσει να μιλάει, ποτέ δεν σταματάει να μιλάει. Ό,τι λέω λέει, ό,τι λέω λέει.
Γεια σας. Welcome to Meraki TV Kids Corner. I'm Themi and I love science, so today I'm going to show you a classic experiment I call mini volcano. For this experiment we will need flour, alevri, salt, alati, cooking oil, ladhi, water, nero, large bowl, empty soft drink bottle, adhyo bukali, pan, tapsi, red food coloring, liquid detergent, sapuni, and vinegar xili. First up, we mix in a bowl with our hands. 6 cups of flour, 2 cups of salt, 4 tablespoons of cooking oil, 2 tablespoons of baking soda, and 2 cups of water. Now for the fun part. Oh, it feels so gunky. Feels like making good gurulakia for Easter. Mix until it's all smooth and put to the side, even though I don't want my hands off this. Stand your soft drink bottle on the baking tray. Mold your dough around the bottle, but keep the top open. Fill the bottle almost to the top with warm water. Add a bottle of food colouring, 6 drops of liquid detergent. Now add 2 tablespoons of bicarb soda. Get ready for the explosion, pour the vinegar in, and step back. Oh, that's so cool, it's fizzing up. A chemical reaction is what happens when you put baking soda and vinegar together. I'd like to see your experiment on Meraki TV Facebook page. It would be great to see how messy your volcano eruption was.
Έχω ένα παπαγάλο, είναι το στόμα του μεγάλο, που αρέσει να μιλάει, ποτέ δεν σταματάει να μιλάει. Ό,τι λέω λέει, ό,τι λέω λέει.
It's time for an income breakthrough. To free yourself from working for money, have your money work for you. George Focus of Focus Beyond will show you step by step how to generate income from the share market irrespective of if it goes up or down. Access resources that do the hard work for you and devote no more than 60 minutes a month so you can enjoy financial freedom and time with family. To change your life forever, go to focusbeyond.com now.
Nicolaos Demourtzidis is an Adelaide filmmaker who has dared to film the most personal of stories, his grandfather's battle with Alzheimer's, and the challenge of reconciling the most painful of memories before they are all lost forever. ISTORIA, the documentary, has been honoured by film festivals around the world, and with very good reason. Maria Chochlastu caught up with Nicolaos in Adelaide recently to find out more.
I guess life goes beyond just the memory. I think that moment is something that we can share. We can say we went there. We can say Ilias went there.
We're gonna go back in time in his memories, aren't we?
That's right. We're trying to see if he can remember more things. My daddy keeps talking about it and he really wants to go back.
What about the war? Do you think I should ask him some questions about it?
I don't know what he will remember, but of course, you can ask him. You're the doctor, you're the one who know how he will react.
I feel guilty as well that this was all happening.
I don't know why he should go through all this.
I've never seen my father cry. Never seen my father like that before.
We did it because I think, again, it's owed to Ilias, especially his father. Yeah, of course he had to say goodbye. Of course he had to have this moment with him.
Nicola, tell us a little bit about this documentary, ISTORIA.
Thank you, Maria. It's a story about my papu. We went back to Greece to try retrace some of his steps. He was suffering with Alzheimer's at the time, and we couldn't bear to stand that this story would slowly fade with his disease. And it's something that we wanted to capture for us.
So the trip was, do you feel beneficial to him as much as for the rest of you?
A lot of the doctors and the experts were saying, why take him? Why unbury everything that the mind works so hard to suppress? The way the mind works, it doesn't want to remember the bad. It tries to lock it away in a corner. And essentially we did actually go into those places, my papu's mind, and bring him up again. That's why the tears, you see the moment when he goes back into the house, singing for his brothers, calling out to them, saying that they're no longer there.
I saw the video twice, cried each time just as hard. It's one of the most real stories I've seen, and this is why I'm here with you today. Do you think this documentary is actually going to be beneficial in, say, different institutes that have dementia or clinics where they can show children of people that have dementia who can then have a clearer understanding of what that person probably needs or is going through?
I see this documentary, it doesn't go down the scientific explanation and talking about the definition of Alzheimer's or dementia, but I do believe that it has some significance where it shares the emotional story, the hurt and pain that people go through, and the confusion that they're living in between their present, their past, and what it means for their future as well. This isn't about my papu or it's about the story that which they went through, what my papu went through, the pain, the suffering, and it's something which I think a lot of families can relate to. And I encourage you greatly to pick up your camera and start recording your own story. Start recording which makes you unique compared to everybody else. The world is full of beautiful stories and they have to be shared. And I think this is what brings us together as a culture as well. Be it in this beautiful land, be it back in the motherland or wherever it is.
Were there times during the filming where you felt you couldn't cope or your grandfather couldn't cope?
Yes, many. One particular, it was halfway through the shoot, and I walked into the house and I went to the bathroom and I had a breakdown. I thought, what am I doing to my papu? And I was in tears and I called out, and I call it what you will, divine intervention or my whatever it is. I literally was picked up off my feet and there was like nothing had happened, and I went out and I kept filming. And I do have to say, I felt that strength from somewhere that it's going to be okay, and papu's going to be okay. Don't get me wrong, some nights he just went home and he was just out of it. It was just so hard for him to go through that and to cry and to bring up that memory. To just imagine going to your brother's grave when he was 18 and they said they gutted him. and threw him in a pit along with so many other people. And just imagine the first time you heard that, they said, "Don't cry." He lost his mother, his biological mother, giving birth to his brother. His stepmother was murdered. His brother was murdered. His two brothers died to a sickness. Minkles.
Nicola, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Maria.
Please watch this video and make sure you have a box of tissues with you. You will not regret it.
Hi guys, welcome back to Helens Buzina. Today we're making one of the most favourite Greek recipes of all, pastitsio. So what you're going to need is 2 cups of full cream milk, cup of flour. We need a little bit of cinnamon, probably about 1/4 teaspoon, about a tablespoon of oregano, 25 grams of butter. We'll need some mince, so probably about 250 grams, some cheese, grated cheese, and in there I've got a little bit of halloumi and a Romano cheese because I like to zhuzh it up a little bit. Tomato paste, probably about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1 small onion and about 2 garlic cloves. And we've got some pasta. Last of all, 2 eggs. So away we go. So for your quick version of pastitsio, you want it all happening at the same time because we've got 30 minutes today, guys, so get your pasta boiling. So to start with, you need a pan or a pot, whatever you work with easiest, because we're going to fry up our mince and our onion to get started with our mince part of the dish. A little bit of oil into your pan. Let your oil heat up a little bit and then you're going to throw in your onions and your garlic until they're translucent. At this point, I like to put in my herbs because you fry the herbs off and they have even more flavour. Once it's fried off a little bit, it's time to put in the tomato paste. So I've fried off my tomato paste a little bit. You can start to see it's changing colour. It goes a little bit dark. It's time to put in the mince. So remember guys, this is the 30-minute pastitsio version. Now if you want to do the traditional one, I like to let my mince simmer for about 45 minutes. But remember, this is the quick version. So we've got 30 minutes today and we're going to make a pastitsio. A little bit of water, probably about 1/4 cup of water, just to help it let simmer even better. Salt and pepper, can't forget our salt and pepper. So we've got the pasta on, we've got the mince simmering away, we're going to start on our bechamel. With our bechamel, again, don't forget 25 grams of salted butter or unsalted butter into the pan. So our butter has melted away, we're going to add our flour. It's probably a good idea to have it on medium heat right now. A little bit of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon. And now it's quick action, guys. You've got to start pouring in your milk and mix it and blend it through the flour. A little bit of salt and pepper. Bechamel's nice and creamy, guys. Nice and thick. I'm going to add in the egg, but it's a good idea to take it off the heat when you're adding in the egg because you don't want it to curdle. I love my bechamel nice and cheesy, so I'm going to add some cheese. I've got a bit of cheddar cheese, a bit of Romano, a bit of halloumi. We're going to add that in, make sure it all melts through, and we're almost ready to go. Ready to assemble. To start with, I've got my pasta that's been boiled. I'm going to put a little bit of milk in there. You can put a little bit of milk and a little bit of olive oil, and what that will do is keep your pasta moist because you don't want dry pasta. A lot of people like to put a little bit of breadcrumb on the bottom because it doesn't make it stick, but I love the stickiness at the bottom, so I'm going straight for nothing on the bottom of it. Feel free to sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top of the pasta as well. It's all about flavour. Traditionally, you'd put the mince in next and then the bechamel on top, but I've got some beautiful bechamel here and I like to put a little bit of that bechamel just over the pasta. Next up, the mince. Last up, bechamel over the top. Sprinkle it with cheese in the oven, about 15 minutes. So there we have it, guys, our 30-minute pastitsio. Who would have thought? Kalli όρεξη. See you next time.
Whether it's Melbourne, Darwin, Queensland, something exotic, or just perfect Greece, call Mega Travel 9824 2427. Home Care Services. It's so difficult asking for help. Take the stress out and enjoy precious time because there's no place like home. Eremia.com.au. From Pyrrhus to Cyprus, Forgotten and Remembered Hellenic Kingdoms, Territories and a Fiefdom, is the second book from Meraki TV's own Billy Kotsis. Bringing an overview of 36 territories after the disintegration of Alexander the Great's empire, it also scans the conquests of Alexander, the Byzantine Empire, and more. Each of the chapters cleverly connected by Thucydides, who is, after all, the reason why history is written the way it is today. Available from Amazon, selected outlets across Australia, and via billykotsis@hotmail.com. AussieSkips.com.au. Fast, reliable, professional, and friendly service. Bin sizes from 2 cubes to 12, delivered to your door the very next day, so you can get your jobs done when you want. And with our own waste transfer station in Sydney's metropolitan Strathfield, we'll find a boutique solution for your waste management needs, no matter how small or large. AussieSkips.com.au. Owned and loved by an Aussie family.
Σαν να άργησε. Έχω ξεχάσει και το κινητό μου, δεν φοράω και ρολόι. Με έχει πιάσει και λίγο κατούριμα. Κρατήσου Κυριάκο, κρατήσου Κυριάκο.
Ναι, Σοφή, θα σε περιμένω πάνω γιατί έχουμε γεμίσει ανώμαλους εδώ πέρα.
Μήπως έχετε ώρα?
Για σένα, κούκλε μου, πάντα. Μέχρι και στην κόλαση πάω.
Όχι, ευχαριστώ.
Εσύ χάνεις. Άντε τσάγια.
Τσάγια? Το έχει μέρα μου σήμερα.
Χαίρετε.
Χαίρετε.
Τι μας κάνετε, κύριε?
Καλά, καλά.
Καλά είσαστε. Ροντεβού περιμένετε?
Μάλιστα.
Περιμένετε πολλή ώρα?
Ναι. Είναι μια κοπέλα που τη γνώρισα στο Facebook και είπαμε να δώσουμε ραντεβού σαν τυφλά, όπως τον παλιό καλό καιρό. Εγώ θα κρατάω ένα κόκκινο τριαντάφυλλο και αυτή μια κόκκινη τσάντα. Αλλά φαίνεται ότι άργησε.
Θα είναι τις δύσκολες, φαίνεται.
Ίσως.
Αλλά με την ευκαιρία έχω κάτι για σας.
Ορίστε.
Ένα ρολόι. Για ταλαιπωρημένους εραστές.
Για ταλαιπωρημένους εραστές?
Ταλαιπωρημένους εραστές. Πάει μισή ώρα πίσω. Για παρηγοριά.
Άσε μας ρε φίλε. Πλάκα μας κάνεις.
Όχι ρε φίλε, μήπως χρειάζεσαι ένα ρολόι που πάει μία ώρα πίσω για παρηγοριά? Τι χρειάζεσαι?
Σε παρακαλώ πολύ. Παίζεις με τον πόνο μου?
Κάτσε ρε κύριε. Γιατί? Αφού δεν τα ξαναχρειαστείς.
Τόσο γκαντέμις.
Stathis Psaltis' legendary ability to appeal to Greeks, young and old, with his slapstick humour, has left fans in tears again. This time after the curtains came down on the Athenian star for the final time. An iconic actor and idol of the 80s Psaltis was born in Velo, Corinthia, and moved to Egalio, Athens, with his family at the age of 11. He studied drama at the school of Kostis Michailidis and law at the University of Athens. He was married twice, at just 17 to his first wife, Daria Boura, and later in 2006 to actress Christina Psalti. His comedy roles in Greek movies and theatre made Psaltis a household name with a cult following.
Εσείς είστε κυρία Δαμιανού. Με συγχωρείτε για το ακατάλληλο της ώρας, αλλά ξέρετε, πρέπει να βοηθήσετε μια δυστυχισμένη ύπαρξη.
Κόφτε ύπαρξη.
Να. Ναι, βεβαίως. Ναι, κοιτάξτε, πόσα λεφτά έχουμε στο ταμείο? Όχι τόσο πολλά, καλέ, όχι. Κάπου 50-55 χιλιάδες. Ναι, εκεί. Ναι, είναι μια δυστυχισμένη ύπαρξη, μια γριούλα είναι.
His films were a huge success. You only have to look at the millions of views on his YouTube clips.
Θα φάτε τόσο ξύλο που θα πάτε όλη αφασία.
Θα τιμάστον αυτόν τώρα και άκουσε το δικό μου το πρόβλημα.
Λεφτά.
Πρόσεξε.
Άμα είναι για λεφτά δεν ακούω τίποτα, κουφάθηκα. Και από εδώ και από εκεί, άμα θέλετε λεφτά να πάτε στο θείο Χαράλαμπο που έχει πολλά να σας δώσει.
Ναι, σε αυτό το τσιγκούναρο.
Πολύ σπαστικός ο γκολόγερος. Ήθελα να ξέρω τι θα τα κάνει τόσα που έχει.
Στάθη μου, ξέχασα να σου δώσω και αυτό το χαρτί. Ήρθα από την εφορία.
Όχι ρε μάνα, την ώρα που τρώω να μου φέρεις χαρτί τις εφορίες. Θέλεις να στραβώ κατά πιο και να με χάσετε?
Επιστροφή φόρου.
Τι είναι Μανούλα μου?
Επιστροφή φόρου.
Γλυκιά μου Μανούλα. Και δεν μου το έλεγες πιο μπροστά ότι είναι επιστροφή φόρου.
Δηλαδή τώρα εντάξει έχουμε λεφτά, έτσι?
Ναι ρε, άντε ρε, φέρε μια βαλίτσα να τα βάλουμε όλα μέσα. 15.865.
Εγώ με ένα τάλιρο βολεύω.
Πάστο.
Κοίταξε να δεις Στάθη, εγώ θέλω περισσότερα.
Πάρε τα διπλά. Σκάσε, μην κλαις, γιατί αυτά τα λεφτά μωρή είναι για το μηχανάκι μου. Προτεραιότητα έχει το μηχανάκι μου και μετά εσείς. Μην κλαις μωρή.
Psaltis rarely gave interviews and success never changed him. He remained his true humble self.
Δεν θέλω μωρή να μ' αγαπάς. Ай, στο διάλο παντρέψου να ησυχάσουμε.
Μάλιστα, θα παντρευτώ.
Έτσι, μπράβο.
Αλλά μονάχα εσένα, ναι.
Πους! Άκουσε να δεις κοριτσάκι μου, εγώ δεν είμαι για σένα ρε παιδί μου. Εγώ είμαι πολυεθνικός γκόμενος. Εγώ να πούμε έχω τρελάνει όλα τα θεομάνουλα της ΕΟΚ. Δεν είμαι για σένα, πάρ' το χαμπάρι ρε παιδί μου.
Κι εγώ δεν είμαι θεομάνουλο.
Θεόμουρλο είσαι, τι της λες τώρα?
Όχι, λέγε μου, τι είμαι.
Βεντούζα είσαι.
Βεντούζα.
Μάλιστα, βεντούζα.
Τι βεντούζα?
Από αυτές που ξεβουλώνουν τις λεκάνες. Ай, στα διάλα από εδώ.
Παιδιά, thanks so much for joining us again tonight. Meraki TV is brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond Education for investing wisely. A big thank you to all our guests tonight and all our supporters. Παιδιά, until next week, Philakia from me, Anna Savo. Meraki TV is proudly brought to you by George Focus of Focus Beyond Education for investing wisely.